Good afternoon, YouTube humans. So we're doing a little quick FSD drive into Seattle. And finally our windshield wipers activate. And we're getting on the 520 bridge from Bellevue, headed over to Seattle. We're running version 13.2.2 on a hardware 4 Model Y 2024 vehicle. And we would have, because the question will start coming up, the original hardware 4 computer, not 4.1 or the newer one. Some of them are starting having issues that are reported, but they tried to make either a newer version or updated with the latest componentry. And people are, they're not, they kind of fail in the camera calibration process, from what I understand. So you basically take delivery of your car, and now you got to drive about 100 miles before you can use autopilot or FSD, and then the whole FSD computer, hardware 4 computer, just dies. So yeah, that's a problem, and then it takes months to get a replacement because they're going to have a twofold problem where you're still trying to make new cars, and the cars that are needing the parts, and there's only so much capacity to build both components. So then you get a bunch of people waiting for either a loaner, which they don't have enough of, or the part. The cars drive just fine. It's just that none of the safety features work, or because they're run through the DDAS or FSD computer. So that's the Tesla news of the day. I'm going to manually hold my toll transponder up because I took it down so you get a better view of what's going on. Hey, good job, FSD. You're actually pulling to the right to allow cars to pass. And that means that we're not going to end up in the carpool lane. Alright, I'm just going to manually activate the wipers. If it goes back to the right again after passing, this will be phenomenal. A change in behavior, because that would indicate we're more driving like a German. Jawohl. They more strictly follow the way you're supposed to drive, at least stereotypically, is what I'm talking about. FSD is not having a good day with them, or the Tesla sensor for the wipers, which I think is just using the FSD computer. Yes! Pulling over to the right! And it's working through the cameras being a little blurry on the right from the drizzle. That's phenomenal behavior change. I just in general, FSD was kind of having an off day today, I would think. Leaving my house, it's always gotten the right or left correct. So it turned left instead of right, like the map wanted it to do. And then we didn't go at a green light. But now we have this behavioral change where it's actually coming over to the right, as you're supposed to do as a driver, or to keep the left lane or passing lane open. So we're getting on I-5. So this is the traffic for. Let's see if FSD will actually figure this problem out. That the right lane is getting backed up because of the Montlake exits. We are running standard mode right now and not hurry. Let's just see how it behaves. How patient or impatient standard mode is. see above on the bridge, but it looks like someone spray painted a picture of Steve Jobs. Don't see that every day. Usually they're spray painting Che Guevara on the walls. Today was really good because technically we could use the right lane, but it queued. We could have used the left lane and then jogged over here after the Greenlake exit, but the right side was pretty well piled up. That's standard mode for you, or at least what it is now, or how they've reprofiled it. Actually, standard mode was more chill than chill mode when we were trying it just 2 or 3 days ago. So I have zero idea how they changed the profile overnight. So FSD is kind of like, we should say bipolar. Changes day to day. Because we send 10 to 15 gigs of data up to the cloud every night, but also we get quite a bit of data back down, it seems. So if you were to monitor it at 500 megabytes, but those 500 megabytes is a big update, but it's not an update because we didn't get a new build, but we did maybe get some additional parameters in there. I don't know. I've talked about it, but nobody ever puts it in the comments what the DDAS team at Tesla is really doing, or Cortex. How well is it able to learn on the fly, or quickly adapt to the interventions and things that we're doing without having a new build? I presume there is some ability to update little patches come in overnight based off of user inputs, because that just seems to be the trajectory. You get a build, it either goes to a minor release, or if it works out, it goes wide, and then it seems to have, you sometimes have regressions, and then it smooths out over the 2 to 3 week life of the build. So right now we're on the real tail end of where you would see a typical build life cycle. So 13.2.1 lasted a few days or a week. We got version 13, everything was great. Well, now we got 13, phenomenal. And a week later we get the holiday update with the 13.2.2, so there probably were some fixes in there. Now we've been sitting on this is the holiday version update for 3 to 4 weeks, maybe 3 weeks now. And I think the backup is that they're working on adapting hardware 3 cars to the 12.6. The 12.6 didn't go wide, assuming there was a lot of interventions and problems with sending hardware 3 end to end. So as the team is working there, Cortex is pounding away at the hardware 4 problems, because that data still keeps coming back every night, but we haven't had an update or a major build change in weeks. Because I would imagine that since their focus is right now hardware 3, to get that end to end, they haven't had time to physically update hardware 3, version 13 on hardware 4 cars while they're working there. So their focus is augmented, because normally if you did this big change, just like when Apple does a iOS 17, they change from 16 to 17, you get this big push, and then you get this wave of patches and bug fixes, and then it kind of goes dormant, where you go, okay, there's security updates and then little updates along the way until you start getting to the tail end of the year. And then if you have the Seed, so that's Apple's beta testers. I have the Seed on my phone. I'm in their Seed program. So then you get the sneak peek versions with a lot of bugs, and then they start working through version 19. So I'll get iOS 19, I don't know, probably, let's see if it comes out in October, 2 to 3 months earlier. All right, we're gonna manually activate these wipers because this is too much water to see through. Maybe not for the camera. We will have robo-taxis before functioning wiper blades. That's for sure. There's no way to make it bigger. This Subaru here must be a big Yankees fan because there's a big Yankees logo on the quarter panel. Well, that's a testament to how nice and tolerant we Seattleites are. Because if you put a Yankees logo or opposing city's logo in a lot of other cities, that car would get torched. Imagine driving through Boston with a Yankees logo in your car. Not good. Okay. Must be close. That was pretty good handling of that red in an intersection. Because this one's kind of tight. Or taking the right turn on red. And that's one of the few intersections left that you can actually legally do it on. Or the city of Seattle hasn't made it out there to put up a sign yet. We're gonna make it? Yes, we are. let's see if FSD can park. Okay, no parking today.